Good morning, yogis. Welcome to your Gentle Flow Yoga. We will be stretching through the low back this morning and opening up through the hips. I don't know about y'all, but I know I'm holding a lot of tension in my hips these days, and so I think we need to release what we're holding on to in our hips, in our low back. So we will start in child's pose this morning, grounding down, knees wide, toes together, coming to our mats in our child's pose, arms stretched long in front, forehead down. Just checking in with ourselves this morning, seeing how we're feeling. Let's take a nice deep inhale, breath in through the nose, expanding through chest, ribs, belly, and let it go out the mouth. Taking another deep, full breath in through the nose, and letting it go out the mouth. And as we just continue to breathe here in our first few moments of our yoga practice, stretching through the sides of the waist, lengthening through the sides of the waist, reaching fingertips to the front of the room. With each exhale, maybe getting those hips further back to the heels. Gently starting to open up through inner groins here. Just aware of Mother Earth supporting us, feeling our forehead grounding down into the mat. You can even gently rock your forehead side to side if you wish, massaging our third eye chakra, our seat of intuition here, as we continue to breathe. As we turn our attention inward, we just take that inventory from head to toe, paying particular attention to those areas that feel tight or stuck. And sending extra breath, extra love to those tight, stuck areas. Releasing any tension from the face, the jaw. As we turn our attention inward, you can set your own intention for your own practice today. Always being mindful that we come to our mats with self-acceptance, self-compassion, self-love. And finishing up with one more breath here, deep inhale and deep exhale. Let's go ahead and make our way into all fours in our tabletop. So hands shoulder width apart, knees hip width apart. And we're going to work our way into cat-cow. So as we inhale into our cow pose, chin up, collarbones wide, pressing tops of the feet into the earth, inhaling, and as we exhale into our cat pose, doming our back, head drops, pushing the floor away, tailbone drops to the floor. You can work through cat-cow at your own pace here. Crown of the head up, breathing space through those collarbones on the inhale, tailbone up, and then as we separate through back shoulder blades, doming our back, exhaling on the cat pose. It's flexion and extension of our spine. So good for our body as we warm up for our standing poses. And one more cat-cow, inhaling, cow, exhaling into cat. And bringing head, neck, spine back to neutral. Gaze top of the mat. Let's go ahead and tuck toes under, bringing hips to sky for downward facing dog. As we push the floor away, we can keep our knees bent a lot here in our first downward facing dog of the day. Can slowly start to pedal those feet out. No tension in head, neck, or shoulders here. Pushing through palm, thumb, index finger. It's breathing space all down the backs of the legs, through the low back. Coming up on both toes, taking a deep bend in both knees. Let's lay our belly on our thighs, really pushing the floor away, tailbone in the sky. And then releasing, straightening legs, bringing those heels back to the earth. Let's go ahead and walk those feet up to meet those hands, bringing it into our forward fold, our Uttanasana. So feet hip width apart here. Bending over, hinging at the hips into our ragdoll pose. You can have hands down on the mat or blocks, or hook your arms at elbows here as we shift our weight from foot to foot, side to side. You should be able to shake your head yes and no in ragdoll pose. Swaying back and forth. Still warming up the backs of the legs, the low back. Just listening to the lovely spring sounds outside. I've got nice little birdies tweeting over here. And then coming to stillness in the center. Let's go ahead and slowly roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. And making our way to mountain pose with that head and neck coming up last. Good morning, yogis. All right. So making sure in our mountain pose we're standing solidly in all four corners of our feet, long and tall in our spine, abs engaged, shoulder heads rolled away from ears. Inhaling, let's sweep arms all the way up, fingertips to the sky. Exhaling, we fold all the way over, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhaling, halfway lift, back flat, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhaling, we fold over. Inhaling, rooting down to rise up. Sweeping arms to the sky, hands to the heavens. And then exhaling, hands to heart center prayer, pulling the energy down. Let's do that again. Inhaling, we sweep up. Exhaling, we fold all the way over. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, we fold over. Inhaling, rooting down to rise up. Hands to the sky, half sun salute. Exhaling, hands to heart center prayer. So let's do two more half sun salutes. Inhaling, we reach up. Exhaling, we fold over. Uttanasana. Inhaling, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhaling, we fold over. Inhaling, rooting down to rise up. Fingertips to the sky. Exhaling, hands to heart center prayer, drawing the energy back down through the earth. Last half sun salute, inhaling up. Exhaling, we fold over. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, we fold over. Inhaling, rooting down to rise up. Fingertips to the sky. Exhaling, hands through heart center prayer. Nice work, yogis. All right, let's set up our legs in warrior one. So left leg out front first, right leg back. That back right foot at a 45-degree angle. Torso facing the front of the room. Low in that front leg, tucking tailbone under, inhaling, arms up in our warrior one. Slowly opening to warrior two as we stay low in that front leg. And then we'll do our little pulse here, inhaling up, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling up, exhaling, one more, inhaling up, exhaling back to warrior two. We stay here, we flip front palm to the sky, we reach forward and then reach back for our reverse warrior, opening up through that left side, stretching all down that left side, holding, breathing. And then placing left hand inside of left front foot, reaching right arm long overhead here for our extended side angle pose. You can have that left hand down on the block. You can gaze up at that right bicep if you wish. Then right hand down next to left hand, spinning up on back toes. Left arm to the sky. Can reach that left arm around your waist if you'd like to open up through that left shoulder. And then untucking back toes, setting that back knee down. We're going to bring left hand inside of left front foot, scooting the outer edge of our left foot to the outer edge of our mat as we set up for our low lizard lunge. Deep inner groin stretch on this left side. Coming down to forearms on a block or your mat, releasing head and neck down here. As we open up through our hips, through this left inner groin. We hold so many emotions in our hips. We hold these emotions in our body and our tissues at a cellular level. And as we do these deep hip openers, we release these old stories that we're holding on to. It's breathing. And then slowly bringing it up into a crescent lunge. Pushing prayer hands together here. Let's take a twist. Inhaling up, exhaling, hooking that right elbow across left knee. Stretching through our prayer hand twist here. And then releasing hands back through heart center prayer. And just bringing right foot up to meet left foot, top of the mat, walking that out before we set up for that flow on the other side. So coming into our warrior one legs, right leg out front, left leg back. We've got that back left foot planted at the 45-degree angle. Torso facing the front of the room. That back edge of that left foot down, grounding down into the mat. Inhaling, arms up in our warrior one. Opening to warrior two, staying low in that front leg. And taking it through our little pulse here, inhaling up, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. It's moving collectively with our breath. Keeping that tailbone tucked under. One more here. We stay here. We flip front palm to the sky. We reach forward, then reach back for reverse warrior, opening up through this right side, stretching, holding, breathing, feeling the stretch all down that right side. Then planting right hand down inside of right front foot. Left arm reaches long overhead here in our extended side angle pose. Oh, that feels so good to stretch this morning. Breathing. You can look up at that left bicep if you wish. Then left hand down next to right hand, spinning up on back toes. Right arm to the sky here for our revolved side angle pose. We can wrap right arm around our waist. If you want to open up through that right shoulder, really pushing that back heel to the back wall. Breathing. And then releasing that back knee down, untucking those back toes. We're going to scoot outer edge of our right foot to the outer edge of our mat as we set up for our low lizard lunge, deep inner groin stretch on this side. Coming down on our forearms to a block or the mat. Releasing head and neck down here. You can even be on the knife edge of that right foot if you need to. It's breathing space through hips, through our right inner groin. No judgment, just letting whatever comes up, just watch it pass like you'd watch clouds pass in the sky. Just knowing that all of these old stories that we hold in our bodies and our tissues at a cellular level, as we release and let go of them, we create space for new stories. And then releasing up into a runner's lunge. So back leg straight, that heel off the ground, hands at heart center prayer. Inhaling up, exhaling into the prayer twist. So hooking that right elbow, left elbow across right knee here into our prayer twist. And then bringing both hands back, heart center prayer. We're just going to bring that left foot up top of the mat to meet the right foot, walk it out. And then just taking one more nice, easy pose here before we bring it down. So we're going to take pyramid pose, starting with this left foot out front first, right foot back. So in pyramid pose, our feet are closer together than they would be in a warrior pose. Our heels are in one line, torso facing the front of the room, our hips squared to the front of the room. Inhaling, arms up overhead. And as we exhale over that left outstanded leg, we want to get that forehead to knee connection here. If you need to bend the leg at the knee to get forehead to knee connection, that's fine. You can have your hands on blocks too if you need. Forehead to knee connection is vital in pyramid pose. We are working our thyroid. Slight choking sensation is normal. Then left arm back in airplane wing, right arm back in airplane wing, both arms overhead, some core work here, engaging those abs. Inhaling up and then exhaling, we're going to bring it into a pigeon pose. So this left knee comes down to this left wrist, bringing this left shin in front, stretching right leg back. Use your props if you need to prop a blanket or a block between your hips here. Inhaling up, exhaling over into our sleeping pigeon. If you need a block or a folded blanket under your forehead, go ahead and take it. You can extend arms long in front. Sometimes it feels good to make a pillow with your hands and lay your forehead on your pillowed hands here as we just ground down, breathe, making space all through this left outer hip in our sleeping pigeon pose. And finishing up with our last breath, releasing up. Let's just do a three-legged dog to shake that out. So shaking that left leg out here in a three-legged dog. Feels good. You can even circle that thigh or that leg around. And then coming up to our mats, setting up in our pyramid pose on the other side. So right leg extended out, left leg back. Our feet, our heels in one line, hips square to the front of the room, feet closer together than they would be in a warrior pose. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, we fold over that right front leg. Forehead to knee connection here. If you need to bend the leg at the knee to get forehead on the knee, that's fine. You can have hands on blocks. Just breathing. Working our thyroid. So good for us, even through that slight choking sensation. Then left arm back in airplane wing, right arm back in airplane wing, both arms overhead, torso up, abs engaged. We're going to bring it down to pigeon pose on this right side. So right knee to right ankle, laying that right shin in front. Left leg stretches back long. Use your props if you need to. Inhaling up, exhaling over into our sleeping pigeon. Taking the same variation on this side that you took on the first side. It's breathing space all through this lovely deep right hip stretch. Just letting go of something with each exhale. And then releasing back up. Moving slowly into, you can either shake that right leg out in a tabletop or take it up to a three-legged dog. Shaking that right leg out. And then releasing all the way down onto our mat, flat on our backs. Bringing it to our reclined pigeon here, our thread the needle. So we're going to take this left ankle onto right knee, wrapping hands around right thigh as we pull that right thigh towards our chest. Still breathing. Still letting go of something with each exhale. And then releasing into our reclined pigeon, our thread the needle on the other side, taking right ankle onto left knee as we wrap hands around left thigh, pulling that left thigh towards our chest. You can use that right elbow to push that right knee out here. Just making space all through that right outer hip. And lastly, let's do our nice cow face legs crossing right leg over left. And let's make it a twist. So letting those knees drop to the left. You can have arms out in T-shape or goalpost, turning that head, bringing that chin over that right shoulder. Still letting go of something with each exhale. Stretching through that low back. And then bringing it through center as we switch the cross of the legs, left over right. And then letting our knees drop to the right on the floor. Arms out in T-shape or goalpost, turning that head, bringing that chin to that left shoulder. Just stretching one last time through that low back, through that left outer hip. And then gently making our way, any final movements or poses or postures you need to take for your practice, go ahead and take them here as we head towards our final pose, our most important pose of Shavasana. Please don't skip your Shavasana, friends. It is the most important pose. All the hard work you've just done the last 28 minutes, it settles into our final resting pose, and it seals in our practice for the whole rest of the day. So please, please, please do not skip your Shavasana. It's very, very important as we come into our final resting corpse pose, Shavasana. Slowly starting to deepen your breath, wiggling your fingers and toes, bringing life back into your limbs and your body. You can slowly start to roll those wrists and ankles around, gently stretch your arms long overhead. And then gently roll over onto your favorite side, and you can gently push yourself up to a comfortable seated position facing the front of the room. our hands gathered together in Anjali Mudra at Heart Center Prayer. Our yoga practice allows us to take all of those floating pieces and parts of ourselves and integrate them into wholeness, because ultimately we do not long to be perfect. We long to be whole. Thank you for letting me guide you today. Namaste. Thank you, my friends. Love you, miss you. Be well.